This design gets 75 wheat per hour. This design gets 160 wheat per hour. This design gets 310 wheat per hour. And this design gets 11,000 wheat per hour. All of these designs are 100% automatic wheat farms, which means that you just set them up, let them run in the background, and you will get all the wheat you will ever need. I'm not sure if I've ever seen any designs like this before, so I wanted to make sure I made a video on these and shared them with all of you. This is going to be the design that we're going to focus on today because it is the most efficient and it's the smallest module. So this one that makes 11,000 wheat per hour, it's actually just this module. Just this module is multiplied a lot of times in this design right here. Logical Geek Boy did make a crop farm design that is very similar to this design here. I'll link down to his video down below, but in his design it was going for bread instead of wheat. It was also going for carrots and potatoes and beetroots. So definitely check out his video if you want to see the basis of where this video actually came from. And the way that this design works is that all of this land right here is tilled land, or I think it's called farmland. So what happens is you have to fill up the farmer's inventory. Once the farmer's inventory is full, then he'll start cropping or farming all of the crops, all the wheat, and then actually dropping them on the ground. And since it's farmland, it's not a full block, which means that we can just use hoppers to suck up the drops from underneath. Okay, cool. So let's get into how to actually build this design, and so you can start getting 160 wheat per hour in your world. I put a lot of time and effort into my videos. I would really appreciate it if you left a subscribe. It's free, it takes about 2 seconds, and you can always unsubscribe later if you really want. Do you want to play on a Minecraft server with me and receive some other really cool benefits? Definitely consider becoming a Patreon today. You can learn more on the Patreon site, which is linked down below. Okay, so to start this design off, you're gonna need to figure out where you want your center to be, and you're gonna have to put a water bucket in that. Don't put anything under it yet. We're eventually gonna put hoppers under it. So I guess for now we could just go like this, just to make it so it's not just leaking out the bottom, and just point those really whatever direction you want. I'm just gonna go with that direction. And then what you need to do is you need to build out 7 on each arm here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 just like that on each of these. And once you have that all fit in, all of these ends are gonna have 3 in a row just like this, and then you're just gonna make it match up diagonally all the way across. And I did this with farmland because you can do that in creative, but in survival you're gonna have to just put dirt down and have a hoe, and then just hoe all the dirt. But don't hoe the dirt as soon as you put it down, because we need to put in more water sources. So what we need to do is on all the corners just like this, and on the other side over here, right here on those spots, we're gonna have to put stairs facing this way. We're gonna put water into the side of that. Now that water right there is actually gonna hydrate the rest of this land. And then to close this off, you can put whatever block you want there, but putting the trapdoor right there and folding that up makes it look a little bit nicer than putting a solid block right there. So I do like to do that with these designs. And now that we have the water in these spots right here, what that means is we can go ahead and hoe the rest of this dirt, and it's gonna stay farmland now. All of this dirt is gonna stay hydrated, and it's not gonna convert back into dirt. Okay, now that we have turned all of the dirt into farmland and we've put in all the water sources, what we're gonna do is put light sources in all the corners. So you're gonna need a light block, and I'm just gonna use sea lanterns, but you can use any light block that you want. It can be jack-o'-lanterns, which are, I think, the cheapest light block that you can get. So if you're early game, you can definitely use jack-o'-lanterns, which is just a torch inside of a carved pumpkin. You carve it with shears. You can also get sea lanterns, or you can use glowstone, or you can now use shroom lights as well. I also forgot to mention you can also use any type of wood for the stairs that you want, or any type of stone. Honestly, any stair that you want can go there. It doesn't have to be spruce, and any kind of trap door to hold that in can be put there. Next, I like to fill in these corners just to make it a more of a circle. So go ahead and just fill in these corners with whatever building block you want. I think this is stripped dark oak wood. I think that's what this is. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this because I think it looks nice with the colors of everything else that we're using. Now that we have all this in place and it looks like this, what you need to do is build up a wall. I like using glass. You can use whatever you want as the wall. Just make sure that no mobs are gonna get in here and kill the farmer that's gonna be in here. And I guess the only villager, or the only mobs that would be a real threat to the villager would be zombies. I don't think anything else attacks villagers. You should also put a roof on this thing, which I did not on that one. But I would go ahead and put a roof on it because they can be struck by lightning and turn into witches, and that's bad because when they turn into a witch, they'll die off, and then you'll have to replace the villager in here. So yeah, go ahead and put a wall up so they can't escape, so no mobs can get in here, and I would put a roof on it as well, which I'm not going to do in this video though. The next step would be to put the wheat seeds on all of the farmed land, and I mean, if you're doing the wheat farm, it has to be the wheat seeds. And you don't need to fill in the whole thing with wheat seeds. The farmer will actually end up doing that on his own, but putting in the wheat seeds yourself into all these spots does speed up the process of him filling up his inventory and getting this whole place filled up. So I do suggest actually going ahead and filling up all of the spots with the seeds. Now that you have all the seeds in place, it's finally time to put down the composter right there. Put a light block on top of it as well. Again, you can use any light block you want. Oh, hey there. Yeah, it's me, the guy making this video. This is a quick vibe check. Are you vibing? Let me know how hard you're vibing down in the comments below. And if you're vibing hard, make sure you leave a like and subscribe so that you can join the Dusty tribe. Cool, now that we're done vibing, let's get back into the video. And now here's the secret sauce of this design. When you put a trapdoor on all of those spots right there, it prevents the farmer to actually coming in here. He won't be able to reach the composter, so he won't be able to compost. I mean, he won't be able to compost the seeds into bone meal, which if he's able to do that, it's going to be an issue because his inventory won't stay full. He'll just keep emptying out his inventory into here, which means he's going to keep picking up the wheat and the seeds, and he won't just throw them on the floor, which means that we won't get a hold of them. So this right here, having this trapdoor brim around this middle part right here is the secret sauce to this design. As long as that's there, the farmer won't be able to get into that composter, but he will still be able to farm all of these spots right here. He'll be able to reach those. You also don't need this trapdoor on top. I just put that there for aesthetics, so I do like having that there. But yeah, I mean, you could just put the roof level on this level, I guess, if you wanted. I'll let you figure out the roof of the design. And probably the hardest part of this whole design is getting the villager in there. I mean, in creative, yeah, I can just spawn them in there. But if you're not in creative, if you're in survival, you're gonna have to get a villager in like a minecart or a boat and then get him up here. So that is gonna be a struggle. I do have other videos explaining how exactly it is best to do that. Just getting them in the minecart's kind of tricky, and then being able to power the minecart into here is kind of tricky. The easiest way would be to build this lower than where you have your villagers, and then get a villager in a boat, row the boat into here, and then you can just break the boat, and then he'll be in there. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, once you have the villager in place, that is all this top part all done. Now, the only thing left is to set up the collection system and make sure all the hoppers are all pointing into the correct spot. So what we can do is we can put our chest out here so it'll actually open up. You notice that one right there won't actually open up. And then we can just do a 2 lines of hoppers going directly into the chest, just like this. And we want to run this all the way back. And we only need hoppers under all the spots that are actually dirt. And you do want to make sure that they are actually facing into each other, because if you click on that dirt right there, it's just going to face down and you're going to get a bunch of items stuck in that, and that's going to affect your efficiency. So do make sure that they are actually all pointed into each other. Once you have all these in place, then you can go ahead and point in all the hoppers on the side into those hoppers that go down the middle, just like this, and just do that on both sides. Okay, once you have all the hoppers in place, it should look like this, where all the hoppers are pointing into the middle 2 right here. which are then facing into this chest. Having this many hoppers on a server can definitely cause some lag. On a single player world, this is not going to cause any issues unless you make a jumbo farm like this one over here and there is just a ton of hoppers being used in the system. It could cause some lag because hoppers do cause lag. So what you could do instead is use hopper minecarts that go underneath all of these. It's going to be kind of a weird shape. It's definitely doable. You could have them collect all the items. Sometimes when the items get farmed, they're just going to sit on the surface for a while until that hopper minecart goes over and picks it up. But that is another way you can do it if you're trying to reduce lag. You don't just have to do hoppers like I did right here. I just think the hoppers are easier, and if you're in a single player world, that's what I would personally do. And besides getting the villager in place, the next hardest part is having the patience to actually wait for this guy to fill up his inventory. It's probably going to take 3 to 4 hours, so go ahead and wait the 3 to 4 hours. Make sure that you're loading this in while he's actually farming the wheat and filling up his inventory. And after that 3 to 4 hours, his inventory will be full. He'll just be throwing the crops onto the ground, and then that's when you'll actually be collecting all the wheat, and we will be getting 160 wheat per hour, which is crazy. I've never seen any wheat farm that is this efficient like this design. So I'm really happy that I was able to throw this together and get it in front of all of you. I really like this design, and if you liked it too, definitely leave a like and share this with some friends. But wait, there's more. Now I want to go over just how I did this mega farm. And what I did was I took one of these tiles, and then in the middle I made them share the walls. So this one layer of this is 4 of those combined, so it would be getting the output of 4 of those combined. And I just made them share walls, and then I made the design a little bit larger. And if you want to see what's going on underneath, it's the same thing. I have all these hoppers. They all have different outputs in this right here, but you could make it so that they all have the same output and it's all going to the same place. I think it would be pretty smart if you had it all drop down the middle and then just had all the items collect somewhere in the middle. And then I layered this up a bunch of times. Now this one is gnarly. I don't think anyone's ever going to need 11,000 wheat per hour, but if you do need 11,000 wheat per hour for some reason, this is your go-to design. I also made some smaller designs that were a little bit easier. This one's actually square, and then this one is that square multiplied times 4. And then you can see the different outputs of these as well. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.